The historic Mineral Springs Hotel in Paoli has been placed on Indiana Landmark's 10 most endangered places list. Natalie Fitzgibbons has a story behind the 130-year-old building and its chances for restoration.
Orange fencing and cones surround Mineral Springs Hotel in downtown Paoli. It is considered one of the most architecturally distinctive buildings in downtown. The brick building with 3 floors, a basement, 2 verandas, and 80 guest rooms served as a hotel until 1958. But it has been vacant for about 10 years and pigeons have taken residence. Greg Sekula, Southern Regional Director of Indiana Landmarks, says the building was placed on the endangered list for the second time due to a secondary roof to help contain leaks being torn off in a storm in April.
It damaged the brick parapet walls of the hotel and left the skylight, which was an original feature in the building, open to the elements. Subsequent rainfall, which was very extensive this past spring, caused interior water damage.
Sekula says the hotel has become difficult to maintain because its current owners lack financial resources to fix extensive damage. The owners were not available for an interview.
I think they don't want to see the building lost, but if it were to continue to deteriorate without any further action, there might be calls for demolition of the building. We are not at that point yet. We certainly don't advocate for that. We want to avoid that. That's why we've got to be proactive in terms of trying to find solutions to the building.
Mineral Springs was constructed to compete with French Lick and West Baden Springs. A lithium well and a sulfur well was placed in the town. Water from the sulfur well was used by hotel guests. After 1958, different owners have come and gone throughout the years, with various businesses occupying the first floor. 93-year-old Dwayne Radcliffe moved to Paoli when he was 5 years old. Radcliffe's father owned a hardware store next to the hotel where he worked as a teenager. He says he remembers the hotel being a bus stop for World War II soldiers.
It was a very popular hotel during World War II. A lot of people stayed there overnight when they were on leave or visiting, and many times people would come over to the store and talk to me and tell me what was going on at the hotel and what was going to happen that weekend.
Radcliffe says he hopes someone will be interested in purchasing the hotel. If the hotel is lost, if it can't be saved, how would you feel about that?
That would break my heart.
Sekula says the owner still needs to place Mineral Springs on the real estate market, but is wanting to do additional cleanup to make it more suitable for showing.
Overnight accommodations like an Airbnb or perhaps housing would be a great reuse for the property. Many developers think the building is maybe too small just to do a single project, so getting some additional land in and around the area to support additional, for example, units for housing would make sense.
Sekula says funding from the state and federal levels will be needed for restoration of the hotel, but budget cuts make that more difficult. Terry and Brenda Cornwell, members of Saving Historic Orange County, an organization that protects and preserves historic sites, says the Mineral Springs Hotel is vital to the Paoli community.
I think the heart of it is in our hearts. Those of us who grew up here remember it as such a phenomenal building on our square.
Terry says purchasing the building is going to be small compared to the cost of restoring it.
Last few people have talking in the $5, $6, $7 million range to buy it and restore it.
Brenda says they have been able to receive a couple of grants for the hotel.
It'd be great if we just had a group of local people like they did back in 1895 who would come together and put enough money into it to restore it and get it going again.
Brenda says if the building is unable to be purchased and restored, future generations will not know its significance and will only be able to see it in photos.
It's a part of the community fabric.
Yeah.
I always think when you lose a building, large or small, it's like a missing tooth and a smile.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Natalie Fitzgibbons.